Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden. This is Lean the Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright, today's content is all about the left's gun control and how it's not control of guns, it's control of humanity. And I've got lots of examples, and it's interesting the path that we've kind of fallen upon by accident, kind of observe some things. I'm going to bring this to you right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below, because I think this is incredibly important for us to understand, realize, but also share to other people to build that unity that we have in our gun community and the Second Amendment supporters. It's our rights, we're going to pass it on, but this is a crucial way to really identify what they're doing, because this punches a hole in the gun control argument hard, at least in my opinion. But like I said, let me know in the comments field below. So, yesterday we did a video on Massachusetts and how they've got a bill in their state legislature to basically kick out Smith & Wesson because they make products that cannot be sold in Massachusetts legally. That's the whole premise. And when I was going through and I was watching and editing that video, something popped in my mind, and that was kind of the inspiration. It always changes. Gun control always changes until you end up on total control. But the problem is you can't control humanity and you can't legislate morality. This kind of proves that point. So track with me. So, the first thing, everything is always cited. It's in the description box below for you guys if you want to take a look down there and check me for whatever you want to see. But first thing is we went to basically every town in the USA, okay? Their big thing, you're seeing it on screen right now, is the assault weapons need to be banned because it's nationwide, right? They go after assault weapons because that is terrible, and gun control is important, even though it's only 3% of mass events in the United States, and a vast majority were handguns inside different crime-related things, but that's beside the point. You gotta get the ARs, you gotta get the assault weapons, because it's just the weapons of war, right? Here's the quote. Assault weapons are exceptionally deadly firearms, commonplace in mass shootings. They are generally capable of firing far more bullets far faster than manual action hunting rifles. Okay, little deceptive right there. Of course, it's going to be faster than a bolt action hunting rifle. It's not faster than a semi-automatic handgun, but can't say that because that would ruin your narrative. Prohibiting assault weapons can prevent mass shooting injuries and deaths. Okay, so here's the little trick that they're doing. They're saying overall, ARs are a problem and this is a big issue and it has to go away. Mass scale. Because they've gone to the highest common denominator. Assault weapons are available across the United States, so they're hitting there. But now, look what happens when I go into this same clip from yesterday. I'm going to play it real quick for this guy, but notice the organization that he's from. This clicked in my head, and I want you guys to experience the same thing with me. So I'm going to play this clip one more time, and then just notice where he's from and what he's talking about, because he's talking about banning assault weapons United States-wide, right? Assault weapons.
This is not a partisan issue. This is not an effort to put anyone out of business.
Okay, so that was one little clip, but did you guys notice where he's from? He's from Stop Handgun Violence. Okay, that's fair. Like I said yesterday, that's something that you're passionate about. I respect your First Amendment availability to do that. But he's in Massachusetts. He even states in this whole point, he was on this interview because he was advocating for the fact that Smith & Wesson should not be able to make assault weapons and ship them out in other states because they aren't allowed to be sold in the state of Massachusetts. Light bulb. Why is there a organization that is dedicated to stopping handgun violence in a state that has no rifles? If that was truly the cause and the main problem, wouldn't it make sense that that organization wouldn't be necessary, because obviously weapons of assault varieties are the problem, right? That started getting me thinking, right? So if there's no problem, then why do you have an organization called Stop Handgun Violence? I thought it was all about the rifles. Oh, it's not. Awkward moment. Here we go. You guys see where I'm going now, right? So now we're going into the handgun control area. Remember Massachusetts? Everything is so amazing. They have common sense gun reforms. Well, what I'm showing you on screen right now is an actual movie recording of an article, and it's titled, Gun Violence Up at least 50% in Some Massachusetts Cities Over Lull During COVID Pandemic, U.S. Attorney Says. This was updated on the 21st of 2020, so this was within 6 months ago. So as you can see, at least 50%. This was, like I said, on the 2020. But you scroll down, as we're doing right now, and you start to see something incredible. According to the spokeswoman, fatal shootings are up 58% in Boston and non-fatal shootings up 33%. Brockton, shootings are up 35%. New Bedford, shootings have increased by 237%. Shootings are up 53% in Worcester, 53 and 60 in Springfield. Now, how could that be possible if the big specter is gone? Because assault weapons aren't allowed in Massachusetts. So what could possibly be going on? Allow me to show you some more data from CDC. All right, so the clip that you're seeing now, this is just a screenshot from the CDC. Again, everything's cited below. What you're looking at is firearm homicides in the United States is 4.4% per 1,000, or 4.4 per 100,000 of population. When you go into Massachusetts, firearm injury death rate, 3.4. So it's only 1 unit shorter or smaller. It doesn't sound like they're doing amazingly well, right? Interesting, right? Now, let's go to another gun group. This one is from Everytown, USA. This is from their research wing. This is also on the screen for you. In Massachusetts, the rate of gun deaths increased 16% from 2010 to 2019, compared to 17% increase nationwide. 1% difference. The rate of gun suicides increased 7% and gun homicides increased 26%, compared to a 13% increase and 26% increase nationwide, respectively. A little tricky wording there, but let me break it down for you into English because they wanted to kind of hide it in the linguistics. Gun suicides up 7%, nationally 13%. Gun homicides, 26% increase Massachusetts, 26% increase national. Exact same growth. All the laws and all the bans that they've done have not done crap. They're hiding behind these statistics. It's not working. It's really interesting how they want to share that with the rest of us, isn't it? So now, I took that one step further. What we've done now is we went national, where they're trying to take away ARs because human beings shouldn't have that. Then you go into Massachusetts and they start hitting the handguns, and human beings shouldn't have that. The problem has not changed from national to local. Now let's go take a hop skip across the pond. Our long lost brethren, the British, and they don't really have guns. They have some guns. Some are legislated and they are allowed to get permits through a very long process, but the vast majority do not have guns. Now, what you're seeing on your screen right now is the number of knife crimes recorded in London from 2010 to 2019. So basically, or 11 to 20. It's at 15,000 instances of knife crime in London. 15,000 in one city. I was quoting you national. London is one city, okay? 15,000. And then you start to get into a different area, and this is where we're kind of wrapping it all up, so stay with me. You start to see things like this. Tell me if this looks familiar. Statement from the CEO, knife crime drops by 1%. Statement from the CEO, knife crime soars to highest level on record. Blog, how do we get to this place? Does that sound familiar? Because in the United States, you start to see these kind of articles and blog posts and all these things about violence with handguns or rifles or guns. United States problem? But in London, you're only seeing it with knives. Isn't that interesting? And then you go to the last piece, which I'm going to kind of tie up together. Your donation will help us to educate children about the dangers of knife crime and help us to achieve our vision that no family or community should suffer the loss of a life to knife crime. That is verbatim. If you change out the word knife for gun, you would see that in United States ads. My point here is, guys, they are trying to legislate morality, and it always changes depending on what environment they're in. Nationally in the United States, they go after ARs or assault weapons or weapons of war, whatever they want to brand it at the moment. You go down to localities where they've already gotten rid of the assault weapons, it's handguns, and the stats don't change. They're the exact same. Then you go into localities like London across the pond that have no guns, but they have significantly increasing knife crime, and you're starting to see the exact same verbiage they're using for ARs nationally here, weapons or guns in local areas here in the United States, and now they're doing the same thing with knives in London. The big point here, guys, is you cannot legislate morality. Every single time you go after a single tool, people find another way. Every time you increase a tax on something, a business will find a way to avoid that tax by spending money, or they'll do something. Human nature, if you're going to do something, you will find a way. And that's the problem. We are dealing with an issue in this country and humanity in general where you can't legislate morality and you can't legislate your ethics. It's not something that you can put in place with a law, and even the left understands this. But that doesn't mean they're going to stop trying to get the guns that they're trying to get for their end goal and their means. And that's the message that I have, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because I think this was a cool thing to see how they changed their message. It's basically the same message, but different tools and different wording for the same means and the same end. But until tomorrow, I'm Braden. See you later.